Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Exploring the Akashic Field. My name's Maria, aka the Spiritual Gardener. And today I really want to dive in and ask the Akashic Records what happens when we develop our intuitive gifts? What happens when we tune in to our natural inclinations and explore that aspect of ourselves? Like, what does our life look like when we fully embody all of our extrasensory perception things? I think this is a big part of of the spiritual awakening and the things that are happening and reconnecting our spirit with our mind and our body. It's a really incredible, powerful thing and something that I have absolutely loved doing. I've loved the process and I hope that everyone takes the time to develop this within themselves. It is completely life changing. And it puts you on the trajectory of living your life purpose that much faster, efficiently. Like, there's no lollygagging. There's no lollygagging when you develop your gifts and, like, it makes the connections to life purpose or whatever you're supposed to be doing that much stronger and clearer for you. So if you've really been struggling, like, "What am I meant to be doing here? I know I'm meant to play a part in something." Oftentimes, it means that it's time to develop a part of yourself, maybe that you haven't experienced before. It's time to sit in the unhealed version of you and take the time to heal and uncover and unfold and, like, discover the aspects of you that have been lingering behind or hidden or just not supported in a way. So, I want to tell you a little bit about my own experience before we jump into the Akashic Records. And of course, I always ask Mother Earth what she thinks about our life when we develop our intuition and our spiritual gifts. Um, yeah, so in 2022, I had my wild spiritual awakening. And prior to that, had always been spiritually inclined. That's something that, like, oh my gosh, from, I don't know, 12 and younger, I've always had a draw to this element of life, this magic of life, and always wanting to feel like I was part of it or had a connection to it. Just didn't understand how, what, where, you know what I mean? Like, the pieces weren't coming together fully at that point yet. But even through my younger years and into my early adulthood, I'd always felt drawn to the esoteric, to the things that are a little bit out there. um, and even I have books on my bookshelf from when it must have been early to mid-20s, where I had bought, like, The Earth as a Goddess or Mother Earth creator type of literature. Um, I knew that there was something there for me, and I felt a really strong connection to it. I just didn't know to what extent and to how, right? Like, but it has always followed me along the way. And I've always, 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 always felt just like the strong, deep connection to Mother Earth. Um, but also like the extrasensory stuff, right? Um, I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I self-diagnosed after TikTok. Like a slew of TikTok videos pointed me in that direction literally 2 years ago. So I know that I have had all this extrasensory stuff going on, all this extra noise in my head or perceptions that I've had in my body. I've had those always there. It's just I didn't connect the dots until much, much later when the information was available for me and was ready for me to connect, right? A lot of this, it's all divine timing. It's all, if you remember the call, the podcast the other day about the divine column that's guiding you down this path. Like, my path was meant to be separate in a way until I got my full-blown spiritual awakening in 2022, and then all of the input was on, I mean, it was online at that point, right? So 2022, I had my major spiritual awakening in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. I have two toddlers, a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old now. When the youngest one, when the baby was just, I think, 1, I had started my backyard vegetable garden, which game-changing, life-changing, like, thing to do for me. The impetus for, I think, my trajectory so far, getting outside, getting my hands in the soil, interacting with the elements and the energy of the plants and everything, like, it got my body prime and ready. I followed the column of light to that passion, something that I had never done before, and, just kinda was like, "I'm doing it. I've always wanted to do something like this. I'm gonna dive in, and I'm going to take the leap into myself and to develop myself doing something that I was excited and passionate about," okay? So I followed that column. I followed the light there, and, a half a year into the vegetable garden, a year into my baby's, um, life, one night in the middle of the night, I was sleeping next to my son, and um, the most amazing column of white light came through my body as I'm horizontal. Like, of course, I'm picturing myself standing, but this column of white light came through my body fully, all the way, head to toe, and just radiated outward. I mean, I remember being like dead asleep, but so cognizant of the fact or recognizing that something super amazing was happening to the point that I remember saying to myself, I hope you never forget this. You know, in dreams, you're like, well, it felt good in the minute that I remembered after I had it, but then I knew it was going to be gone. No, no, no. This was completely different. This was like, I hope I remember this. This is absolutely incredible. And it lasted for, I mean, if at least a minute or two, where I was just a radiating column of white light. Oh, I'll never forget it. um, yeah, it was a really, truly magical experience. And that was what catapulted me to trying to figure out what in the world that was. Because I don't think that happens to everybody. And you know what's wild? I look back now, is I was at that point even having like serious conversations with the other adults in my life who had had children and were in middle age. And I was like, okay, you had your kids now. What do we do? Like, what's my purpose now? What, uh, I had been so focused on finding a partner and starting a family through my 20s and early 30s. Like, that had been such a focus in my life that now that I had checked those boxes, I was absolutely lost because I didn't understand. I mean, sometimes I still don't. What do you do now? You have your whole life ahead of you. Now what? And, and yeah, thinking that, then the column, then I was on, like, a trajectory of seeking and trying to figure out what exactly it means. And thankfully, we have a family friend who, my mom put me in contact with, and his name is Will, and I will always and forever cherish him in my heart because he was the beacon that I needed to get me through even just that first year. Of course, my sister's calling. Hold on. So, so, yeah, it was a stumbly first year, though, I have to say. If you're brand new on the awakening train, I don't know what everyone else's is like. I have no idea if everyone else gets a column. I don't know. Or all of a sudden you just have this like this knowing that life is more than what we've always perceived it to be. I don't really know what others is like. I would love to invite people onto the show to have conversations about that. Like, tell me about yours and what it was like and normalizing this because it is happening all over the world and it will continue to happen because Mother Earth keeps showing me in meditations like balls of light hitting all over the globe, people waking up to the fact that they have the connection inside of themselves already. They have the power, the connection inside of themselves. They don't need to use the external world around them necessarily to connect to source and be connected to source at all moments. It changes the game, doesn't it? So, yes, developing the intuition. Thank God. Literally, thank you, God, for putting April Curry in my TikTok feed, my For You page. We know that nothing is coincidence and everything comes along when it was meant to. But man, Spirit let me flail around for a good while. I mean, 6 months I was just kind of going through all of these like, oh my, like unveilings. You know that phase where it's like unveiling everything and really processing relationships and the way that you perceived them or the way you showed up in them and how much different you feel about them now after knowing this or going through this awakening process. Um, yeah, April Curry. She is an incredible intuitive teacher, um, guide, Akashic Records, um, mentor, I would call her. She offers a few different courses. And honestly, I think she recommends starting with becoming a master Reiki practitioner. By utilizing Reiki energy, you can kind of enhance and open up your channel more, your body more, to connecting to and receiving messages from the Akashic Records. So I started by taking her Reiki course in the spring, and that was incredible. That is such a exercise in expansion itself. I mean, calling in white light, healing light to your body and utilizing it. Um, on a daily basis as you go through these classes. I mean, that's a great start. And then she also has a mediumship course that she offers, which is part of her monthly membership. It's like $11 to do group meditation, intuitive activities, like group intuitive activities. She teaches you so much incredible stuff. And then also she does a private course, Learn to Become an Akashic Records teacher, with like 6 or 7 people at a time. It's about 6 to 8 weeks. I can't remember. It might be 6 weeks. She has a beginner course and then she has an advanced course. And I mean, Akashic Records, I think, is a pretty niche thing. I don't know too many people who talk about it just outwardly. But if you know about it, like and if you know about it, you're drawn to it for a reason. Like in all spiritual things, if you're drawn to it, if it's in your awareness and you're drawn to it, it's there for a reason. So I knew that this was something that I was like, this is meant for me 1,000%. I need to do this. And it came at a time that it was not easy for me to make the commitment. You know what I mean? Like I had 2 toddlers and I was like, my husband and I work split schedules. It financially, like everything was so stacked against me in a way. Like I had the opportunity to opt out. I had the opportunity to choose the safe space of just like it's not time for me. Like this isn't going to work for me right now. I have all of these other things, these humany things that I'm trying to prioritize. Um but thank God I didn't do that. Thank God I said I can do both. Do you know what I mean? Because it has catapulted me to a place. Well, I mean, look at me now. I'm sitting on a podcast. I'm talking to my computer through a microphone about messages that I get from spirit from the Akashic Records and having conversations with Mother Earth and feeling so fully healed and whole inside of myself as I do it. That's the big piece. Like understanding that there's nothing holding me back at this point because I have healed all of those aspects of myself to the most part. You know that there's always healing that needs to be done, more recalibrating. But for the most part, I've examined all of those pieces of myself that um would it literally 6 months ago would have stopped me for doing something like this. But but I know that there's so many people out there that are so interested in understanding more. So this is kind of like your wake up call. Like if you have not taken the time to develop the things that you know are happening inside of you or the gifts that you know are there, then come on, invest it in yourself. There are so many amazing teachers. April Curry, for one, I will include her in the comments. I also have started to work with um, somebody named Sarah. Her page is what is it? Cosmic Sagery. And what I love about Sarah is she is so earth energy focused. April is Akashic Records, teaching you how to like bring that information from the Akashic Records and make it applicable to your life. She awakens all of that, those gifts and those intuitive gifts inside of you so you know how it feels, how they work, blah, blah, blah. Amazing. But Sarah offers me something a little bit different in that her connection with Mother Earth and with the elements and with the mountains and the trees and is so strong that it's now, since I have this foundation over here with the Akashic Records with April, now my foundation, I get to go dig deep back inside. Akashic Records up here, um, Earth, this Earth training, Earth element energy thing down here, being more introspective and going down into the Earth to pull up the information that needs to come out. Which is wild. I just had an aha moment because in my meditation yesterday, they showed me as a pyramid connected to source up here, right? And going out and touching the earth on all sides, being that energy pyramid, but then also equal and opposite reaction. I was inverted from the earth, a point in the earth with the pyramid going up and touching the surface of the earth. So I like this, I don't know what shape it is, kind of a diamond, but not. I have to look up what type of shape it is, but pyramid on top, pyramid on bottom. Me being both, me being this shape, bringing the source, the divine down, pulling the Mother Earth up and connecting somewhere in between to bring all of this beautiful, wonderful information forward. I just connected those dots. That's pretty damn cool. So she's giving me like some tools that I didn't know that existed to be able to do that exercise, bringing all of that wonderful, beautiful life force energy up, making it a part of this whole life program, this whole exploration. So I will include also her link as well. She does an awakening support group and offers all these beautiful meditations similar to April. And I found both of them on TikTok. The thing that I think is really important and cool when it comes to finding a teacher of sorts, somebody that's experienced this, is go with something that excites you, something that feels like it lights your fire. There are so many different avenues to explore spirit or your spiritual connection and develop your gifts. I mean, it's endless. There's so many different opportunities. And I think they're becoming more prevalent. I saw in the meditation the other day. You guys, I tried to um film like what's coming in from the 1111 portal, and it was so amazing, all this great information. I didn't have the microphone on. So I'm just going to have to reshare with you some of that. But some of the information they shared is that there are all these little niche pockets that are developing, niche interests that are developing within this whole spiritual awakening process, that everyone is going to have a place. Everyone is going to have a group of people or a community that feels right to them, where they can explore their own spiritual passion. So find somebody that is in line with what you really care about exploring. Oh my gosh, there's so much out there. It's really incredible. And you don't have to do just one, right? We are not one-sided. We're multifaceted beings with multiple different interests. So take the time to explore and dig in. Um, Another thing that I want to point out too, when it comes to a spiritual teacher, what I love about both of these, Sarah and April, is that they, in no way, shape, or form, is it about anyone but your own development. And I think that's why it feels so right to me. There's like, let me give you the tools and then you go explore. Like you go do the hard work yourself. They guide you and they give you like, this works for me. This works. Take the time to do it. Um, there's nothing that feels icky or yucky in any of the practices that I have experienced so far with either one of them. And I've been going along with April almost a year now, which is just wild. So I know that their integrity and I know that they are connected to their purpose and their passion. And I know, like, I feel that. So make sure you're doing your red flag checks when you're committing to a program or committing to something. Make sure it feels really right in your gut. Make sure it feels right with who you are in your heart. Um, I know that there are so many people out there who can guise and act and say one thing, but it ultimately becomes something else. And just use your discernment. That's what we're being taught. Listen to yourself, listen to your body. It's telling you things at all moments, at all times. Um, yeah. Anyway, lots of blabbing. Oh, my intuitive gifts are still growing and developing. If you must know, I've only been reading the Akashic Records for less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. Within the 6-week program, I was fully like reading the Akashic Records, tapping into spirit, um, mediumship, all of it. And everyone has different gifts. I mean, I think I said that, but everyone has something different. The clairaudience, the claircognizance, the olfactory, the whatever. Like, I know that there are quite a few, and everyone gets different aspects of those, but they're all available to you at all time. They're all available for you to develop. It's just exercising a muscle. And April teaches that. This is exercising a muscle. You have to do it and you have to commit to it. And if you really want it, then you commit to it and you do it over and over and over again. And then it just becomes a part of you, a part of your life. So for me, there was no other, like, there was no other path than this. Like, this has preoccupied my life. Well, besides, taking care of the kids and my house and my family, that, of course, is always number one. But in terms of who I am as a person, like, this was front and center in my awareness every single day. Every day, I was trying to read a book that I felt was going to open my awareness, open my mind to a different concept, meditate, do the exercises. I mean, yeah, it has become a lifestyle for me because I truly cannot think of a life without incorporating it, if that makes sense. Like, it is so strong in who I am. I've realized that there's no other way of living for me. And I think, yeah, that happens once you commit to it. So let's tap into the Akashic Records. Let's ask them what happens when we develop our intuition. And let's also tap into Mother Earth and just see what she has to say about it as well. Okay, hold on. Hmm. All right, I've already done my grounding meditation before we came on here today. So let's go now open my records as well as the group's records. I'm calling in Maria Halls and this listening group's spirit guides, masters, teachers, loved ones, God, Earth, higher self and higher vibrational beings to come and support this Akashic Records reading. And we thank you for this universal wisdom for Maria Halls and this group's highest good. Maria Halls and this group's Akashic Records are now open under God. Maria Halls and this group's Akashic Records are now open under God. Maria Halls and this group's Akashic Records are now open under God. Okay. All right, let's start by asking. I have it on a post-it note. Hold on. All right, Akashic Records. What happens when we develop our intuition or our intuitive channel? What is happening when we do this? Okay. The imagery that I'm getting is a human being, a body, connected to the divine through their channel. I'm seeing that column, that crystal column of light coming in through their crown, connected to source. And what they're showing is that channel lights up. And in addition to just that channel lighting up, the energy field around your body, like in this split second, becomes vibrant and colorful. Golden light, pink light, orange light, like all of the colors are emanating from you and outside of you, around you. So it's like you come into color. You live a more colorful existence. What does this represent? The image that you're showing me, what's happening exactly? It's a new way of stepping, a new way of walking, a new way of being, a new way of experiencing and walking on the earth, where you can feel the blades of grass and how they breathe, how they sing, how they speak to each other, but also to you. And I'm being shown somebody like stepping on, grass in their lawn and feeling the grass go, ow! Oh my God, how funny is that? But like in such a cartoony way, like, oh my God, how funny. Okay, that's funny. Thank you. Yeah, tell us more. What else is happening when we do this? Now they're showing me a hawk in a tree. What does the hawk represent? The guides around you. You recognize them, you see them, and you can feel them, and you communicate with them. Because nature, the animals, are guides, are signs. How are they signs? How are the animals and the nature around us, how do they act as signs for us? I'm being shown an image of me just standing in the middle of the forest, and all of a sudden an owl swoops in front of me and goes, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," and then flies away. What does this represent? Yeah, they're like wake-up calls. Open your eyes. Open your eyes to what's in front of you. They're kind of like, stop, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, they're there to make you aware of the path that you're on, and yeah, make you aware. To tap into yourself. Once you see these signs, tap into yourself and ask, what does that mean for me right now? What should I be looking at? What should I be examining? What does this make me feel? What other are there other animals in particular that act as intuitive signs or signs for us? Oh, I'm seeing an elephant. All animals, great and small. That's what it is. An elephant and a mouse. And I'm getting the sense like that there's this magnetism that happens, that things are drawn to you and show up for you because they are drawn to you. I sometimes get the sense with the birds about magnetism and sometimes feeling that they are flying the patterns that they're flying based on like energy lines. I don't know. It's just like a hunch I have when I walk sometimes. Because the flight patterns are so interesting. If you really watch birds, like they go here and then they go here and then they're always kind of moving around. And I wonder if it's not something like that. But anyway, so for example, the owl, as it swoops in front of you on your path, it's been drawn to you for the purpose of you seeing it and you using it as a sign. Yeah, because the animals follow the patterns of energy on Earth. And so they're brought to your person, brought close to you, or cross your path because they've followed those patterns and are kind of going about their life, but they're following the energy and thus making themselves available to you to witness in that moment. That's cool. What else happens to us, what happens to our mind when we develop our intuitive gifts? And they're just showing a brain that's like lighting up with different spots, different white lights all over the place. And it feels like it's developing new pathways, or it's just waking them up into being. So you get to use all different parts of your brain too when you do this. What happens to our body, our physical body, when we develop our intuitive gifts? Feels like you get to make healthier choices for yourself because you're more in tune with the energetics of the things around you and the food you put into your mouth, the media that you're consuming, your choices day to day. You're way more in tune with how they are making your body feel, and thus you get to make better choices for yourself. There's this whole transformation that gets to happen to you inside. Well, a rebirth, a renew. And you understand then that everything that you consume, food or experience, everything you consume has an energetic signature. And you, when you develop this tool of discernment, what's meant for you and what's not, then you only put in your being those things that match your light or your energy. Well, hypothetically. When we're making those choices for ourselves. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for me, hypothetically too, right? I don't always do the best. But yeah, we get to, our body sings its own unique personal song, its own vibration, its own energy pattern. And then the things that are meant for you, they vibrate in the same way or at the same resonance as you do. So they're more available to you or you're more aware of them. And I'm seeing like a body, like hypothetically vibrating orange, just a certain frequency. And all the things that live on the plane, live on the energetic plane or on the earth, I guess, that also vibrate at that same color orange, hypothetically, are all being kind of drawn to you on this like this almost grid. Yeah, grid, a light grid. And they follow the patterns of the light grid to reach you. Or you draw them in or you move towards them. I'm not sure either way, but yeah. So I asked about our mind, I asked about our body. What happens to our spirit? What happens to our spirit when we develop our intuitive gifts? Okay, now I'm being shown that inverted pyramid again. Like where it's up and then like V, right? So this shape. So once you're connected, you go up from here and then you go down from here. So there's this like from your light, from your point of light, you become open to what's above you and you become open to what's below you. It's like those gates are open, that information is open, it's been open for you. And remember, it can open to flat, like they can all open so that you get to have the top and the bottom, everything. All around you. But it's almost like there's information or there's access. There's access to the divine. For your soul, your spirit. And you get to have that access as a human being in this lifetime. You get to be aware of it, if that makes sense. Because think about it, it like literally is night and day. The day before your awakening or your awareness expanding, you were either not aware of it or it wasn't in your line of thinking. You were more closed in your body, like your light soul, like this, closed in your body. Literally the next day you wake up, you have this opening, you have this awareness. Now everything is available and open to you. So, and they're showing those two people side by side. One kind of grayish, but they're light in the center, but not necessarily aware of all of the things around them, tuned in. And the next is the other person next to them with their light. And it's like rainbow. Yeah. A full experience, full expression. That's cool. Yeah, what happens when we develop our intuition? I think I did everything. Mind, body, spirit, soul. What happens to our soul when we develop our intuition? The soul gets to grow and says, finally I can breathe. It's kind of like this, like sinking in, like the soul almost gets to sink into you more. Your soul self sinks into your body more, comes down into you and integrates more so. It's like, feels good. It's a relief to finally to be able to use some more aspects of the soul self in this experience. Because as a soul, I mean, you're fully aware of all of the things, everything. So in this aspect, you get to integrate more of that all-knowing stuff into you, all experiencing into you. What does our soul have to do with the intuitive gifts that we have, that we see and develop here? They're showing me apples and oranges. It's all fruit. Oh my gosh. It's all aspects of the same thing. It's all aspects of the same spectrum of light and being. And it's showing that you have options to experience all aspects, to eat all fruit. So, yeah. What happens to our soul when we really work to develop our intuition and embody it? I think it's like it's a rejoicing. Like, yay, we achieved a lot in this life experience. Like, we grew a lot on this one. That's cool. And it's like a developing more of who we are. Hmm. Yeah, I think it goes into like soul development. It's a soul development thing, which is really cool. Let's ask Mother Earth real quick before we go today. What happens when we develop Mother Earth? Let me dig in. Let me put my feet into her. Mother Earth, what happens to you when we individually develop our intuitive gifts or our intuitive abilities and channel our intuitive channel? Yeah. What happens to you? What do you get to experience? It becomes more of a playground. Your Earth experience becomes more magical, more of a playground, more of what it was exactly meant to be. Before we were kind of cut off and closed off from all of this. Now she's showing me like roller coasters and rides and the carnival. It gets to be this fun place where we just get to go and go down the and now I'm seeing people like, what? Oh. On the roller coaster coming down the hill, like, oh, the excitement and the thrill and the fun. How funny. Oh, Earth, that's fun. How do I personally do this more? How can I get more of this experience on Earth? She said you're on the kiddie rides, but you're getting there. Funny. Yeah, she's still showing me this. Ooh. Oh, the Adventure Express at Kings Island. If you know, you know. Oh my gosh. What else can you tell us about developing our intuitive gifts? Yeah, it's not a surprise that this is happening. The light is available for you to do this. She's bringing in more and more light or taking on more light, elevating her frequency. So, she's like, yeah, this is just part of the evolution. This is what we're doing now. This is part of the new program, guys. And the new program is meant to be as experiencing Earth as this incredible, magical, fun place, as this playground. That is part of the plan. That's what she was originally intended for. This beautiful place, this gorgeous oasis. We're getting back to that. That's part of the plan. Do you have any suggestions for those who are just starting to develop their intuition? What are some suggestions or guidance you have for those people? She's showing you, or showing us, dig your feet into the earth. Like, really feel grounded there. Know that you are an earthly being, first and foremost, with the divine seed inside of you. She's showing a person with their feet rooted in the earth with the divine light inside of them. You can be fully present on earth and do this and expand your awareness and expand your gifts and Get that rainbow experience inside of you, outside of you, all around you. You can do it while fully present and here on earth. That's what you're meant to be doing. That's why you're here in this lifetime. Hmm. Any other advice you have for the people that are beginning this process? Eat fruit, eat earth, or eat earth foods. Eat foods that you find out in nature. Mostly fruit. I'm seeing fruit from a tree. Eat from the fruit. Eat of the fruit. Nourish your bodies the way that you're meant to. Remember, the food that comes from the earth is energetically charged with earth energy. It's like a bouncing and it's a purifying and it's a lighting up from inside. So if you're eating, things from nature, fruit, then you are awakening all aspects of yourself, inside and the outside. Inside, then it gets to radiate out. You become energetic light, earth light energy from inside. That's crazy. Then you just become like this big, huge ball of energy and light and rainbow colors. So do that as best as you can. I need to do more of that. Yes, yes, yes. Mhm. All right, let's go ahead and close the records. Maria Halls and this group's Akashic Records are now closed. We thank you. I thank you, Mother Earth. I thank you, the records, all of the kinds that we got here today. I had a really great time talking about intuitive gifts, developing them, finding your pathway through this. If you have any questions, you just let me know. But for now, I'll see you later. Bye.